The 1,000 item declutter continues in the kitchen. This will be part 2. This is taking a lot longer than I expected. So we're just basically going to go in an anti-clockwise around our kitchen because that's how we did it with the last one. So this is the cupboard above the stove and it houses all of the cookbooks. I didn't think that I owned that many, and I do know there's quite a few others. First, I'm getting rid of this aluminium square cake thing, and I also got rid of this cookbook holder. I spent about 5 minutes trying to put a book in it and work out if I'd use it, but I just don't. And it was so funny because I spent ages looking for one in an op shop and I finally found one and I've never used it. So it's time to go. We need to be realistic. Now here on this section is just a whole pile of baking pans. This is usually where I keep the cupcake pans and any smaller things I use all the time. Some drying racks as well and some cooling racks. I didn't realize, and I was a bit excited to find that one of the racks that was in here actually belongs in my oven on top of, it's like a deep baking dish bottom tray. So I don't actually have 3 set trays in my oven, if that makes sense. The bottom one is like meant to be for a roasting pan. It is a pain to cook roasts in it to clean. So now that I have found that internal piece, that will help be able to sit a tray on top of it easily. So that'll be good. I'm just spending a little bit more time putting my cookbooks back, and I spend a while trying to rearrange them. I just would like to say now that going through the kitchen, I'm not going to be doing massive cleaning. I will clean up any general spills or anything really quick, but in the where the saucepans and stuff are that you'll see coming up, there's some like oil splats and other things like that. I will do a deeper clean on it later, but for now it was just focusing on decluttering and trying to get it done because I had very limited time this week with trying to clean everything. I am keeping these 3 cooling racks. They stack on top of one another like this, and they're so good if you're making a whole lot of cookies, then you can sort of stack up, and they're really good. I got them from, do you remember Home Care? They were a door-to-door sales company with books, and they had lots of home things. I was a consultant for them for a while, door-to-door. I got so much stuff because I got a 20% discount, so I bought a lot of stuff from them, which is good. And some stuff we still have today, like those cooling racks and the pizza trays we still have. All of the cupcake pans I have kept and put in there, and there's a couple of brownie pads, trays I've put in there, and there is a bread container I've put in there as well. The tray ovens just sit on top of our microwave for now. This is the skinny baking cupboard, and probably I should put tea towels in here for ease, but they're in the linen cupboard and it's just easier. I'm going to be keeping all of this in here for now. There is a Madeleine tray. I'd really like to work out how to make those biscuits because I always said if I ever got one, I'd make the biscuits. I never have. There's a tiny little cake, a round release, spring-loaded tin. Another little aluminium round tin. I use them when I make the Victorian sponge cakes. It saves having to make a bigger cake and trying to chop it in half. There's a couple of silicone trays underneath, one for macarons and one just to help spread out your pastry, and some other little silicone cake things that I've been meaning to get around to make something with. So until I get there, I'm not getting rid of anything. There's also some longer trays on the side there that I use when I do homemade ice cream. And also there's a tart with a release bottom on it as well. The bottom drawer apparently has a tea towel in it. I've probably been looking for that one as well. Here we have donut trays. We have the large one and the little ones. And we have some more muffin trays and cupcake trays. I think I get rid of that pink one from memory. And I kept the bigger one for muffins. Yes, I probably do get rid of it. The fact that I'm holding it like this to show you. I will give it a bit of a clean though before I give it away. And there's just a couple more cake pans in the middle. There is a round, is this a round cake pan? I don't know, with a hole in the middle of it. Oh, another one of my containers I use for Victorian sponge cake. Why it's in here unwashed, I do not know. And another silicone cake thing, so that can go here as well. I have no idea why some of these things are also in the drawer unwashed. Oh, this is me contemplating what on earth I'm actually going to do with the round silicone things, but then I remembered there's things that I haven't made yet. I've got a bundt cake that my mum bought for me that I'm yet to make a bundt cake with. I will one day. And another spring form round cake thing underneath that I used to use all the time. So for now, I'm just going to be keeping everything that's here. Oh, and a mini cupcake tray as well. And once I get around to baking, I will then soon know what I do and don't use. This top section is all of our spices, so sometimes I'll just have a quick look through to see if we need anything. I'll throw this one out, so it's a little bit older, and everything else just sort of sits up here for easy grab. Oh, there's some old oregano type stuff as well, and all other bits and pieces that my daughter uses. Up the back is a couple of drink bottles because these are the favourite that my son has. I got this Star Wars Halloween one a couple of years ago, and I just keep them here in the cupboard because the last time his drink bottle broke was like at 10 o'clock at night, and his drink bottle is one of those support emotional drink bottles. He has a drink bottle with him all the time, and as soon as he drinks like a quarter of it, if he gets up to go to the toilet, his drink bottle will go with him and he'll fill it up again. So he's always got water with him. He drinks about 2 liters of water a day. He does so much better than me. And yeah, if it breaks, we need a replacement quick. So I always have them on hand. If they're going to sit in the cupboard for a couple more years, so be it. But now that he's older as well, the drink bottles do last quite a lot longer. I'm going to keep both of these spray bottles for oil. One was canola oil and one was vegetable oil, and my daughter's having allergies. We changed them around. I'm getting rid of the 2 old clickers that we have, and I will open this one later because it's actually got gas in it and a little flame comes out, whereas these 2 you need to just keep clicking at it till you get a spark that helps turn the stove on. So it's just easy to get rid of. I've got some jars in here if I make any jam or lemon butter, and here is just some toothpicks and also some matches should we ever need them. Right up the top here is a fruit basket that I am glad I have kept because I want to bring it down and make sure I use it so then fruit can actually sit in there, because my daughter doesn't like her apples in the fridge. So if I can put them in here, it will just make it a lot easier. This is my daughter's tea cupboard, and I value my life, so I will not be touching this while she is not here. I know a lot of the tea too, the fruit drinks, she doesn't like anymore, and I'm planning on making some cordial type stuff in the summer. But yeah, I'm going to wait till she's home and then I'll deal with it then. There's a couple of drink bottles in here without lids and various bits and pieces, so we'll sort that out later. Underneath the stove is just a hot mess, and this was filmed a couple of months ago when it still was a hot mess, but I just wanted to show you that one of the saucepans that we have, it used to have oil in it because I used to do some deep frying. So I had pulled that out a couple of months ago. I did clean part of that bench and I put the cooking oil into a container and labeled it well for disposal. So now we have that saucepan in our usual rotation, which has been great. But it didn't help the cupboard anymore. So we're going to take everything out of here. I do know there's a couple of things in here that we don't need, so that is helpful. Oh, we've got a few little silicone bits for saucepans, you know, for the heat escape. So I always try and put those back where I can. We've got some baking dishes. This is one of the MasterChef Coles things. I was keeping that for Kira, so I'll go and put that with the stash of stuff. I've got another silicone tray that's here, and I just remembered the other one that I'd put it back. So I debated which one. I'm going to keep the blue one and throw away the grey one because it's a little bit more stable. But I threw the blue one up to be washed, an empty oil bottle for some reason. Yep. We have a whole stack of newspapers in here. Some I got rid of because they had the oil from that bottle that had just rolled over. And I've been using newspapers, whatnot. I peel potatoes and things like that. All of our chopping boards are there to the side. I need to get a new battery because apparently that helps the stovetop light up. And we've got all the lids here for the saucepans, and I spend a fair bit of time going through all of these because I don't know where half the saucepans are for the lids that we still own. So this was a little bit of a puzzle trying to work it all out. I'm going to get rid of this saucepan. It no longer swings anymore. No, it lost some of its non-stick, a little non-stick egg. I use that for eggs. We'll keep that. And the glass dish I use for the apple crumble sometimes. And another saucepan we're going to get rid of. At least we found the lid that matches it, but that's the lid I'm going to donate because it's clean, but the saucepan I'm going to get rid of because it's so old. I don't think anyone would want it, but the lid, who knows if someone's looking for a lid. I found a couple of the glass food storage containers, so I'm just going to put them in there for now. And oh yes, got another lid for a saucepan, hooray! And oh, another glass mixing bowl. I still have to sort out the baking cupboard. I have done or uploaded the video that you saw of some of the food I made. For some reason there's a container in here with some random bits of coffee that was at the back of the cupboard. I have no idea why. Another lid that I have no idea where that belongs to. And yeah, I think I had totally lost the point by now, and I just kind of went, you know what, I'm going to stick everything back in the cupboard that I know that we do use and then figure the rest out later. I went to shut the cupboard earlier as well, and it doesn't shut with the plates at the front because I put the baking dishes at the back. So I just stuck that there. Oh, I'm telling you that we have one more of those baking containers that currently is with my daughter because she's house sitting, and I did the homemade quiche in it. So I just told her to take the whole container, but there's still ample space for that container to go there at the back. And that's the other thing. While I'm decluttering the kitchen, there are some dirty dishes and some other things around. So I had to spend a little bit of time cleaning some things to make sure that I had everything to see how it would all fit back in. So the jigsaw puzzle finally came to an end. I think I've got one lid that I'm not entirely sure what it belongs to. So I've got an extra lid just in case, but all the other lids fit a saucepan or a fry pan or whatever. I've realized I've probably called everything the wrong name, but anyway. And our sieves, colanders, whatever you want to call them, the yellow Tupperware one that everyone tells me about, and up the back is our big silver crock pot thing, stock pot. I don't know the names of half of these stuff, but it's all there now. The plastics cupboard. It's the bane of my existence, let me tell you, and I am not even sure what is in here anymore. There's actually a lot less stuff than what I expected, which I discovered later has led me into a false sense of security. So I sped all of this up because it took me that long bending over. And then because the cupboard is long, I get a broom and I just sweep out all the rest that are hiding around. And I'll show you how I'm going to combat that to stop it in the future. I put all the plastic stuff up on the cupboard so I don't have to sit on the floor and keep bending over because it's not always the best angle. And what I'm doing is looking for like-to-like items. So if I could clearly see a container with its lid, I was putting it all together, and that's how I'm going to try and store them in the cupboard from now on. Oh, this container belongs to my mum, so I'll put the lid on and give that to her, because the last bag of stuff I gave her was a couple of pieces without lids, and then I found a couple of lids without containers. So I was like, if I find anything that belongs to you, I'll let you know. And I'm trying to put like items with one another, or I don't know, and just try and move it once and then not keep juggling it. Oh, this is a little container that had nuts and lollies and stuff, like a Christmas gift ages ago, and I think I kept it because it was a plastic thing. It ended up in the cupboard, but I'm not sure that I actually ever used it. I found all the ice mold things that I got from Temu ages ago. So I'm going to put all those together, because with summer coming, I probably will do some ice so I can do the teas that I was talking about in the cupboard. Have a nice iced tea. And here is a container of those ice cream, ice block mold things. Some of them are broken. They still work perfectly fine. It's just that some of them got a little bit stuck as we're trying to pull them apart. So I have grabbed all of those and all the lids, and I'll just put those down to the side. I will donate them because they're still in really good condition. It's just a couple of lids are a bit cracked on the side, but they still work perfectly fine. They're just too fiddly for us. And also we've got some other ice cream mold things. For some reason there was a pair of tongs in the plastics cupboard, so that can go in the cutlery drawer, which I will no doubt end up decluttering later, because I don't even use these tiny little things. I don't even know why we have them. Then I decided that this was just too much effort, so I went through and I found every single lid and I just dumped them all into the one container, so then I can go through and start pairing lids with containers a lot easier when there's less bulk. I've got this lunchbox that I bought for one of the Audi demo things, back to school lunchbox suggestions. A little container. I had decided that I was going to declutter the pink container and then keep the little round container. But then later on, what I decided, I put the round container back in the lunchbox, and the lunchbox is going to go in a box that I'm going to keep for social media. So when I need things like that. So it's not in the main part of the house, but it's just for the demo or the picture area. And I find a few other bits and pieces like that later too. So the things that I need for work or socials, they're not dealing with the rest of the house. Just finding more lids and stacking them all in the one container, it just seems a lot easier. Oh, this is our ice cube tray that there's silicone on the bottom and there's a hole in nearly every single one. Last year when I was severely anemic, I was eating ice constantly, and I nearly killed the ice cube container. We have a heart. I think I did some chocolates in that one, but I don't plan on doing them again, so I'll donate it. These are some silicone ice cube molds as well, which I'm planning on using for something coming up. So I'm going to hold on to them, and as soon as I've literally made the thing, they'll be going, because I think I found them in an op shop for 50 cents each, exactly for that reason, and I knew what I was going to do with it, and I need to hold on to it. So again, I will just stick them in the cupboard, and then once I use them, they can go, because I can't see myself using them again down the track. Oh yes, a Tupperware with a lid. Woohoo! That's going in the baking pantry, because that's where all of those pieces go. I think Kira had a container for some of her art supplies at one point, because this lid has paint all over it, and the amount of times we have washed it and it is still not clean. So it's time to go, because I bet I don't even have the bottom of the container anymore anyway. A plastic lid for a takeaway container, we don't even have any bottoms of them. So yep, it is so good to go through your plastic straw. Tell me if you have a plastic straw that is in complete chaos. We have a plastic bowl for some reason. I think that's going to go in the cleaning section when I need one. And now this is my my worst nightmare. I have a Tupperware container with no lid, like a proper baking container with no lid. So I'm going to put that to the side and then just hope and pray that I do find it, because I do have a couple of boxes and bags of stuff still to go through. I do know that, and you'll see coming up later, oh, I've got my butter dish there. That's really good for when I need butter to come to room temperature. I can just put it in there, and it's just a little bit easier protected. Oh, I've got this Tupperware Piccadilly. Absolutely love it. The thing is, and this is what I was just talking about before, I have a blue lid and I have a green lid, because I'm pretty sure that I knew I had two of them, and I'm pretty sure that one of them got some food mold in it or something, and there ended up being a little bit of mold in the side of the plastic, and I couldn't get it out. So I had to throw it out. So I'm going to just keep the green lid for this one, And then I think I end up throwing the blue lid out. We've got another lunchbox that I'm going to put in the social media box as well, if we ever have another back to school TikTok thing I need to do. These little containers are a little bit clever, if I do say so. So they were sent to me about, well over a year ago for a promo from, I think they're called Flat Stacks, but they were from like an infomercial TV show or something. They sent it as a PR and I did TikTok for them. And the lid, as you can see in the middle, has a yellow dot on it. So it matches up with the bottom of the container. And the container is microwavable and dishwasher safe as well. So it can go from, and freezer. So freezer to microwave to dishwasher. So it's all in one container. And it has been through the ringer a fair bit and they're still in really good condition. And I like the fact that, as I said, the lid has the colored dot on it, so you know instantly how to match the lid up to the container. The thing is, with our house, we have an ice cream lid here. Yep, good job. I need food containers to be clear because it's just easier for people to see the food and then they eat it. Whereas if it's in a colored container, people don't tend to open the lid to work out what's in there. And so then food doesn't get eaten. They are really good to put some things in there if you want to freeze them. And sometimes I will print out a label and stick it on there and then freeze it. And then I know it's in a pretty good container. So for now, I've just put them to the side because I might even do that, but I don't do a lot of meal prep anyway. But I think that ultimately these containers will just get boxed up and put to the side for Kira if she ever wants them when she has her own place. And I will put them with everything else I'm saving, with the saucepans and the knives and everything I've been collecting over a little while. So then she has basically everything set up ready to go. I love these little Tupperware freezing containers. They're so cute. But the thing is, I've dropped so many of them. And the plastic does shatter, believe it or not, even though people think that they don't. Oh, I have a lid here that belongs to my mum. I thought that was the container, but clearly not. So I don't know. I know that I don't have the containers for this lid anymore, and this one is a lid for my mum, so I put those to the side. And everything else, I just spent a little bit more time finding lids and moving things around and talking to myself and trying to show you things. But I'm not going to bore you with that anymore because then I didn't get back here for a couple of days because I needed time to think about how I was going to sort the rest of the cupboard out. So here's the pile so far of everything that we are decluttering, and I'm just sorting out what I'm going to be donating. So I'm sticking it into the cardboard boxes, and then some of the things, as I said, I'm going to throw out. So I was just going back through everything one by one. I piled it all up, but I need to clear the path because hubby will be getting home from work soon. Why is it that always when you're cleaning or decluttering, you make more of a mess than what you do? I will be very happy with the end product, but I feel like it's going to take another whip through just to double check that everything is okay where it is. And I'm also just trying to use up the boxes that I have in the house and keeping things sturdy so they can see what I have. I found this big box of plastics that was in the cupboard, and it was so funny. I obviously put a whole lot of stuff in here ages ago. It was a pair of scissors from the Coles promo thing last time. And this box has moved from room to room with the idea that I was planning on washing some of this stuff. I think that I was just in a hurry to clean out the cupboard or pick something up, or something happened and I shoved it all in a box to deal with later. And now is the later. And I'm glad that I'm going through it because I'm noticing that there's a lot of containers in here that clearly where all the lids are on the bench. And there are also some lids in here. And the containers are on the bench. So Peppa Pig lunchbox. I bet I bought that for another TikTok promo thing, but I don't think I'm ever going to get around to using it, so I'm just going to donate it back. I will give it a wash out. I've got a little cat purse that I bought ages ago for a gift for someone. I was wondering where that went. We have a light for some reason. Oh, and a little cheese grater thing. I think we'll donate that because I don't plan on using it. Oh, good. Some more Tupperware lids, including one lid that I know I don't have the container for anymore. And some more lids that I'm not entirely sure where the container is, but I'm going to wash them. And then this box I'm going to clear out, and you'll see why in a minute. This lid I decluttered, and I think I'm just showing you for the camera so I can remember to count it. Now, I know that I said I wasn't planning on cleaning while I was decluttering, but the thing is I really need all these containers clean so I can match up the lids, so then I can work out how much space I have in the cupboard and then to work out what I'm going to keep. So on speed dial, here we go, washing the dishes. So just showing you back in the plastics cupboard, you can see just how deep that cupboard goes and things get lost down there all the time. I didn't want that much deep of a cupboard, but when they put the kitchen in, they said it'll be cheaper if you just get it and then block it off yourself. So I put one of those IKEA things in there, and you can see there's still a hand space between the block that's there now and the door, so I can still get things in and out easily. The bottom will be used for any plastics that I don't need easily, like cake containers, and then I will put all the other stuff up the top. So I spent a bit of time stacking containers to where they belong and figuring out what's going on. I've got a whole container here of lids. I've put them in this skinny little thing, and that will slide in front of one of the cake container holders down the bottom. These lids, as I said, I know that I don't have the containers for anymore, so I'm going to throw those out. This was one of those lids for the, what is it called? Is it called a fridge mate? You put your veggies in it, and it's got those little air holes in it, so it helps keep your veggies fresher for longer. I tell you though, the container is a pain to clean out. It's got little ridges on the back, and it's not often I buy celery. Oh, this is the lid that I was saying for the container. It's like a square shape. It was really weird. And then a couple of lids for the little freezer containers, which are my absolute favorite, but I just know that the plastic broke when I pulled it out of the freezer and dropped it, and I forgot to find its matching lid at the time and throw that away as well. This is the bottom of our lemon squeezer thing. I don't know where the top is, but if it's not in the kitchen, then it's gone. So maybe it accidentally got thrown away with something else. And I'm not going to keep it just for a container, because it actually is very hard to squish lemons on it. Sometimes it falls over, so something to get rid of. This, as I said before, was worrying that there's no lid. I'm wondering if I've just thrown it into a cupboard somewhere. So I am going to put the container in the baking cupboard and pray that a lid appears somewhere, because very odd that I would be missing the black lid. Oh, here's the lid that I was telling you about for the spare Piccadilly thing. So I'm going to get rid of this lid. If anyone remembers my vlog from a couple of months ago, I got this massive container from Savers. It was about $3.99 or something, and it actually retails at Kmart for about $12. So I was super happy, because I had been looking at this one in Kmart for ages, saying I know what I'm going to use that for, and it is to hold all of the plastics in my plastics cupboard, so then I'm not chasing them all around. So I managed to work out how to put all of these containers in here with a little bit of rejigging. Oops, I nearly pushed them over. And then I know that this box has all of the food containers in it, all the see-through food containers, so they'll be easy to grab. I'm pretty much the only one who ever grabs a container to put leftovers in, so I will know where they all are. This box is now completely full, and we actually have some other containers in the fridge. So as you can see, they're see-through, so you can see the food pretty easily. So no more containers for me now, because the box is full. And that was also my theory, that I was only going to keep stuff as long as they fit, not trying to keep jamming things in. So if I can't find the lid for that other container, then it's going to have to go, because I'm getting too old looking for lids of containers. And hopefully, as I said, the lids will stay with the containers for easier storage. I've got some leftover plastic containers that I end up washing out and then using them for some more storage, and then the other plastic drawers and things I just end up sticking in the back of the cupboard, which you'll see later. This box, I put all of the ice block mold type things in there. It's really good, they stay all together. And then I sorted out a little bit of the fridge as well. Put the peaches into the Piccadilly and they've already been attacked, so as I said, seafood and eat it. And then the pineapple I put into this little round Piccadilly thing as well. It took me forever to get the lid on, and I opened both of these tins yesterday, so they haven't been in the fridge very long because I knew that I was sorting out the plastics container. So that's also why I opened the tins, knowing that I would have containers for them to go in. This round one I actually just got from Savers as well. So I thought that I would show you now the plastics cupboard. Oh, I'm so happy with it. So right down the bottom, we've got the black tote in the corner. Like I said, the little container there with all of the lids, and the container that has no lid, so it can just sit there for now. The butter thing and the lettuce. All of my cake containers are there, and I have put some of the glass food storage dishes here for now because they're just not going to fit in the cupboard underneath the sink, because I found another mixing bowl that I had to stick in there. Top shelf's got the black thing up the back there. This has all of the ice cube trays, the egg containers there for now, just a couple of spare Tupperware pieces I didn't know what to do with, the big box of stuff, a couple of bowls that my son will need for noodles and rice, and all the spare plastic bits are now sitting up the back. Next up is under the sink, and this is more just a cleaning tidy up rather than a declutter, but I thought I'd show you because that was moving around in the cupboard. That's where I'm going to leave it for today. Part 3 is coming up with all our cutlery drawers and also the baking cupboard of all the other bits and pieces that we have, because I need to go through all the utensils, and also in the baking cupboard there's some containers and things like that I need to get rid of. That's separate from the food. So stay tuned because I'm enjoying doing this, and thank you so much who watch and give me feedback, because it's really motivating and encouraging me, because I've really been struggling to stay on task. So I so appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. If you got this far, leave me a food emoji of some kind and I'll know that you made it to the end. I so appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time you're watching. Bye.